Okay guys, this is going to be my most controversial video ever, well, so far. Yeah, just viewer discretion advised and all that, and opinions, blah blah blah. Why I did that, even though it's nerd fighters and stuff. Because last time I talked about this stuff openly with nerd fighters, I got incredibly chewed out, and yeah, I should just warn ahead that it's controversial. And yeah, that's life. Yeah. Anyhow, I don't think I've ever shown you guys my room. This is where I actually sleep. Bookshelf, stuffs, lots of other stuffs, posters, awards, other posters, Picasso. Yeah. So yeah, this is where I live. And this is Madison's Bring Up Point, and I'm just gonna talk about my week, but this definitely changes things because me in the military is a long thing, and I gotta talk about this in a entire episode because I have no other way to fill this up. So yeah. First things first, note, a lot of what I'm going to say is very history-oriented, and with history-oriented, that means that I'm going to be talking a whole lot about Latin American history and stuff like that, because that's a huge part of my family and my whole military thing. So Madison, hope you're going to enjoy that. You're going to get some Latin American history on your history nerd belt. I remember. Okay. So, here we go. Quick facts about myself. Or at that point. My name is significant. I'll put links and stuff on the bottom so you guys can follow along. But my name is sort of significant. My great-grandfather was a general in the Nicaraguan army. My family has, before recent periods, has always found itself in military situations. Every man in my family has been an officer in some sort of military, up to my grandfather, who was a lieutenant colonel? Yeah. Everyone else has been generals. I have a huge line of general citizens throughout history, and yeah. So forth. My great-grandfather, national hero. Parliament is being built in Nicaragua with his name. I'm not even kidding. There's gonna be two silhouettes over the city of Managua. It's his and General Sandino. Link. And yeah, that's what I've been looking up to since I was a child. Kind of one of the big things after my grandma died that led me to West Point, because I have a huge thing with Destiny and got all my West Point papers the same day my grandma died. So I have a huge kind of thing with Destiny. So what happens is that I've been thinking about joining the military for a long time. But I was going to do it as an officer because I'm too smart for grunt duty. I'm not being, pompous or cocky, but Marines have told me I'm too damn smart for that shit. So I'm just following orders. So officer training has been my goal. I think only Desi's the only one that was around for most of this period, but I came 3 feet within going to West Point in San Bernardino. I didn't pass exactly my physical test completely. I would have gotten it if I did. And what was the deciding factor was that I missed by 3 feet. A basketball shot. 3 feet. If that 3 feet had gone my way, I would be at West Point right now. I would not have hesitated at all. That's why I'm at Grinnell right now. I didn't get into West Point. I'm at Grinnell now. I'm happy. I'm going to do all 4 years, and I aced all my classes. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm not doubting shit. Now there's someone at my school going to West Point. Fuck, that was an annoying part of my life, and it was after Osama bin Laden died, I found out, and just whole situation in my life just kind of like, holy shit. Life, that should have been me, my yearbook, if I had it, I would show you the article that they did on me, West Point. It's kind of weird. It's always these kids, these athletes, the ones that don't consider it for a while. Just do it for the school. Just do it because they're a better athlete. They get it than those guys that just kind of know it and want to, but just don't have that ability to get there as well. Just don't get it. Part of life, huh? Yeah. Part of life. Okay, so yeah, a large part of this is that I wanted to join the United States military. I was going to go in the Army. You see? That's point blank. Wow, this video is going to take a while. I just realized, look at the time. Yeah, sorry for the long videos. Again, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm looking at my great-grandfather. Fought the United States Army to a standstill, basically, Nicaragua. He was Ho Chi Minh before Ho Chi Minh. I'm not being sarcastic. He's the only one that forced the United States military into a grind. And he kind of was one of the first people that made just this kind of shit at the Marines. It was kind of interesting to read his history. He's considered a national hero, and yeah, it's a name I carry. People that know the history always go out to me about it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's my great-grandfather. But yeah, I know a lot of this can be shocking slightly. I tap myself as a socialist. Not even anarcho-syndicalist, just very on the left. And I have a very right-wing belief in a strong, standing United States military. I believe in a very powerful defense in the United States, because you never know when your time is up. You don't. Empires fall. History shows that. Rome, Russia, China, the great empires always fall. We need a defense force. We need that, obviously. So I believe in a very strong United States, well-trained army. I believe that peace is an option, but to have peace you must have war. That war is an option. It's not the first option, but is an option when things don't work. That sometimes the technical pacifist always has to fight. I know, I'm a fan of Doctor Who. I've been watching it for weeks, and a lot of the beliefs is in technical pacifism. Doctor Who is very technical pacifist because he doesn't fight, he gets others to fight. And even though he tries to outsmart them, he still fights them. That's still war. War is hell, I'm not saying that. War sucks, but it is a necessary part of his existence. Animals fight, and we are animals. Species fight. That's just a part of existence as itself, philosophically. And I would rather be fighting. I would be a general. I would want to. And that's why I want to try West Point after Grinnell. I still want to join the military. I still do. It's a big part of my life. Yeah, I read a lot about it. I read countless books on it. Maddie, I know it's not World War II. You should read Generation Kill. I think you'd like it. Anyhow, yeah, I've just been so caught up on all this. My friends going to the Army, and that's another thing I should go and explain. I have a lot of friends in the military, which is why with the Osama bin Laden thing I was so ecstatic. People didn't get that at Grinnell. Why I personally was so freaking ecstatic. He's gone. This man who had a freaking stranglehold on us for so long is dead. I know it's cruel to celebrate the death of another human being, but fuck that shit. If Hitler's dead, you celebrate on the streets. It's just the same concept. You celebrate. And human life is precious, but sometimes when someone has a gun to your head, you have to fire back. And that's my personal belief. Especially when you know people that are stuck there. I have a friend who, a Marine, got his arm blown off in Kandahar, I think. can't remember. It was in the south of Afghanistan. His entire platoon got massacred. People called it the Fallujah of Afghanistan. You don't think I would have a piece of the say one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life has his arm blown off, and all people I've met, these people I met in San Diego, in Pendleton, Maddie, I hope you know where this is. It's by Oceanside. It's way south of LA. All these people I met, now they're dead. I have a say in it. And I don't know. Back to Doctor Who references, like episode 9, Dalek. I had that feeling, I understood that feeling, that you're fucking dead. You massacred everything, you're dead. And, yeah, sanity or rational thinking doesn't work. But, yeah, that's a lot of what my belief is. It's just that war is an option. I believe you can fight. You should fight. I believe in that. Yeah, it's hard to talk about. It really is. You guys have no idea how hard this is to talk about. Oh, yeah. I know this is kind of bleak, but yeah, human life is weird like that. And I know books always have a third option. You're not going to always have that third option. That's why you gotta learn that sometimes there's a fight to be had. And I'm willing to. I constantly lie to my parents that I'm gonna do a tech job. I'm going to do something light. No, I'm not. Rangers. I do 2-1 JSOC. I'm gonna actually fight. It's a part of who I am. I'm a fighter. I've been told forever I couldn't do these things, but I'm gonna fight. Eventually, at some point, I'm gonna fight with the friends I have, the people I know out there, and there are many. Miami is a marine town, and I know people at West Point now that are getting ready to fight. I'm gonna fight with them, because that's who I am. I believe in war. I believe in that sometimes you gotta fight. I've been repeating this, but it's hard to implant that notion, especially when people constantly doubt everything you say. Throw books, throw all these things at your face. Why you shouldn't do it, why it's stupid, why you're wrong, why you shouldn't be so cynical about life, why war will never be the answer. Or the thing is, people understand war is always the answer to so many things, but it's not the exact answer. It's this part of it. Because part of what war has always been is understanding, a lack of it. Once we learn to understand our enemies, we begin to defeat them. Ender's Game. Yeah, that book has kind of become a Bible to me in weird ways. Desi, you've been through most of this. I think I may have ranted to you about this. I'm not sure. But this is the life I chose. I want to fight. I'm going to fight at some point, someday. And I'm going to stand over an army. And I want to be able to do that. This goes over my presidential thing, also. If you're going to be Commander-Chief of the United States Army, you better know what the fuck it is that war is. That's a big belief of mine. I will not vote unless you have a military record. Unless you know what the fuck you're doing. I will not vote for you. And that's what I expect people voting for me in the future. I want a record to tell people that I know what this is. Because people will talk about war so they know, and I don't know either. But I've lived my life long enough in that shadow. I've lived my life long enough to know what it brings, what it means, what everything it stands for does. At this point, I'm ready. I actually am to understand everything. No longer Sandinistas or Contras like so many people in my family fighting a civil war, endless, in the jungles, in the mountains, houses, rape, pillage, which is one of those things that people don't get about me. People say I don't understand. I do, because my family lived through everything of the civil wars in Nicaragua. 100 years of blood, violence, destruction, and my family's seen it all. I know what the fuck war is. And the fact is that I'm prepared, because there's also something else I want to do. I want to change things. I want to change things for the better. I want to help work, make war seriously a final option. Work to find other options. The great soldiers never walk into the battle. They ponder the battle. That's been a very underlying message of Doctor Who, Avatar, all these great shows I adore. Because I understand them. It's, I don't know. And there is something poetic about war. Whitman, Eliot, Kipling, they've all written about it. All try to understand it. Vonnegut, Pynchon, Gravity's Rainbow, Leaves of Grass, All Quiet on the Western Front. It's just a part of who we are, what we mean, what we stand for. War is the ultimate testament of who we are as an individual and as a people. And you know what? The fact that people don't understand is that without war, guns won't silence. And sometimes the only way one of the only possible ways of world peace is that one war ends it all. Makes people so sick of it. And that if something like World War I happens, France doesn't act like a dick and start it all. Because sometimes it's inevitable. But we decide when it ends, too. And then, here we go, destiny and fate. We're destined or fated to fight these wars, these battles. I believe in some ways we are. Because we lead ourselves into it. History has proven that sometimes these things happen. And sometimes you gotta fight. And then you're in Nicaragua, you're in Egypt, you're in Libya, you're in Bosnia, you're in Kosovo. And it's completely justified why you fight. Yeah. And then, of course, people die. I know. I went to courthouse to jury duty and I stood in a giant memorial to all these soldiers that died, thinking about my friends and the Marines who died. You know what? Sometimes you die for your opinions, you die for your beliefs, and you're remembered for that. You always will be. That's something I always will believe in. People will remember a belief. And as long as you show to the bitter end that you will die for it, people will respect that belief. So I guess there's the idealist part of me. Ideals are war itself. Yeah. But then, you hope. You hope it all ends. This Memorial Day, I just stood by and thought, Gettysburg, everything. I'm hitting on 20 minutes, so I should end. But, yeah, that's my whole shtick on war, eternal conflict, history. I'm gonna start posting links, so I hope you guys respect my opinions. If you guys want to debate this, just comment, and I'll talk about my week, my time in Miami, and all that stuff next week or so. I'll be working. For now, though, I just want to end on this note. Just War is hell. It sucks. But at the end of the day, it's one of the things that make us human. Hit down on the note. Well, have a good week, guys. Happy Memorial Day. And your family sounds like great people, Madison. In another time, I think my great-grandfather would have found your grandfather and so forth, and may have called them friend. Yeah. I think that very much, and that's a testament to also the guy who's descended from a person who fought the United States Army, well, the United States Marines, now wants to join him. Nothing more poetic than that. Have a good week, guys. Peace.